Hi, this is KV, and this is the moon phase report for Taurus. So, right now, the sun is in your sign of Taurus, so you should be having a birthday about now, and the moon is in the opposite sign of Scorpio, and this is a lunar eclipse, which means that the planets, this is the closest the planets will be to the South Node and North Node, and we have another cycle of them that will come later in the year. But when the sun is in Scorpio. So what this really means for you, this lunar eclipse is coming together with influences like Saturn, and this is going to have something where you may be going through some restrictive kind of situations with other people in your life. There can be something where you're even like having to let people go, realizing they're not really good for your ultimate growth in life. You know, this can be like being around people that tell you you can't do something or tell you something's wrong with you, when you know it feels a lot better to surround yourself with people that empower you and think you can do anything. So there can be situations like that occurring. Where you're kind of learning a lot through your relationships with others. And what's kind of happening too, they kind of work in balance where you're just kind of owning more about how awesome you are. You know, so it can be like you're learning through these more limiting situations and relationships. Oh, my cat's gonna start purring. Oh, great. All these next ones will have purr in the background. I guess that's okay though, huh? That's a good vibration. So you're kind of like coming into your own or something, like really being like, this is me, this is what I need to feel happy, this is what I need to have in my life to feel like my life is valuable, and this is what I need to be true to who I am, this is what I have to let go of that's keeping me from being true to who I am. And this can have a lot to do like with what I talked about in the main readings about how you know, we're kind of really like done with defining ourselves through others' expectations. You know, it's like enough of somebody thinking you're supposed to be this certain way, so you just have been being that way, it's kind of like where you're just saying, you know, I did these things before and people are still holding me to that definition, but I'm a different person now and I operate in a different way, and I learned from that stuff, and that stuff's not me. So there may be something going on like that where you are kind of seeing yourself clearer, or who you really want others, how you really want others to see you. You know, you're like, that's not really me. I've been wearing a mask and, you know, being this other person because I'm expected to be that way, and others have conditioned me, telling me this is how you are supposed to be. So there can be a lot of stuff like that going on with you, and what you're really doing right now is seeing what needs to fall away and what you really need to let go of that is keeping you with these false layers on the outside, and that's keeping you into being somebody else's expectation, yet holding in who you really are, and which is just going to make you sick anyway. I know a lot of Taurus, their throats are vulnerable anyway, but I remember meeting this one who, she was like, she had said that she had taught herself to never speak up around other people, even if they were saying something really rude and really pushing her buttons. And I would notice how when you watched her, you'd just see this clench. I mean, eventually it's like she even kind of got more built up throat there, because it would be like clenching, this pressure of always like holding it in, don't say it, hold it in, don't say it. So if there's anything like that going on in your life, similar to that, you're feeling this now, and just knowing like, I gotta be me, I gotta be free to be me. You know, everybody else is entitled to that. And I'm sure too that when you look out, I'm sure you would rather everybody be free. I doubt that you're sitting there going, judging everybody and telling them how they need to fit into a box. I don't know many Taurus that operate like that. So, if you're not going to expect that of other people, then why would you follow other people's expectations that are really just keeping you from being true to you and using your voice and honoring that you're like a really special person, you know, and you have every right to express the truth of who you are. And we want you to, you know. You have a lot of earth skills in you, and earth wisdom and ancient wisdom like that. And we need you to share this, you know, we need you to share what you know. So right now, since Mars is so close to the Sun, and the Sun's in Taurus, you're really feeling a lot of energy to move, to change, to not be doing these things anymore that are limiting. And like I said, you're getting a really big mirror through other people. You're really kind of learning what you need to do. And it may even be like you're triggered by somebody who says something to you, who's always said it to you, and you've never liked it. And now all of a sudden it's going to be like, no, you can't talk to me like that. You can't try to control me like that. Like whatever, it's going to get like a reaction. But honestly, like with the energies, the moment you can just be like, dude, that's not me. I'm not going to be this person for you anymore. I'm just not. Like the moment you can really state it, there's something too about these energies that will give you like the hugest like relief. Where you'll be like, oh my gosh. I mean, because ultimately this is freeing you up and you're bound up, not really being true to who you are in some way. Because, you know, Taurus does have that thing where they very naturally become what others want them to be. Something about wanting to be a good one. Want to be good. Want to be a good girl. I'm a good boy. I don't say anything. So, and that we have an eclipse here during this time too is kind of pretty important of a message saying we need you to be who you really are. We need you to show what you got going on inside. And honestly, if anybody doesn't like it, oh well, you know? I mean, seriously, oh well, what can they do to you that's going to take anything away from your life by you being who you are? They can't. They can say, you know, they can try to put you down or try to say something's wrong with you, but like, is that really the truth? Like in your heart, do you not know that, no, you're perfect? You've just been being too good of a person and not really speaking what's coming out of you. And it's time to just peel off those layers and get liberated and get free and get true to who you are. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So when we do move into the new moon, we're going to be talking kind of on similar things here in the next 2 weeks for the new moon that's going to be in your sign. That's when the sun and moon are all together. Ow. And that's when you're really going to really start feeling much more like yourself, you know, really like you're going to start feeling how good it feels to peel off these false layers that of how other people just really want you to be. And because of this, your relationships with other people are going to change. You know, it's like you're going to find like you've had this habit of keeping doing this same thing and holding this, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do this, but I'm supposed to do this. And like the moment you free up from it, like other people are really going to appreciate it, because I'm sure like not everybody says something, but we can always feel when someone's, when they're not really, when they're not really, when they're not really honoring their truth, and when they're trying to just make somebody else happy and not trying to make any stinks. And we always kind of like it when they really do just lay it out and get real. And you know, I always kind of say that too, like I of course have people that shock me, you know, I like that. I do the same thing. But I always kind of respect that, you know, someone who just stands up and says, whatever, deal with it. This is me. You know, if you have a problem with it, that's your problem. You know, I always kind of like people who have that confidence. And I've kind of had to build it up in me too. Because I show it, I'll do it. But sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Was that wrong? Did I do wrong? Was that right? Da, 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 da. How can I fix that? Was that too harsh? Was it too much of a, you know, so I've had to learn that too. To just be like, whatever. Dude, I'm speaking my truth, and this is who I am, and you know, take it or leave it. And if you don't like it, you can leave my life. You know, if you don't like the way I talk, I had somebody who judged the way I talk, and I was like, oh my God, then don't watch me, you know, dude, you gotta sit here and tell me there's something wrong with me, really? Then don't watch what I'm doing, because some people like it. Should I just stop doing this because one person doesn't like the way I talk? Right? Please. That and that motivates me to actually be more of who I am. That's where it's kind of funny when that stuff does happen. After you move through the emotion of being hurt and like, is something wrong with me? It's like, it almost like builds you up to be even more true to who you are. So that's what we're going for right now. You're feeling a lot of energy with it. It's very much like it can be a frustration for sure. But once you move through it, state what you need to do. Write down, you know, how you want to be, or what constraints you want taken off. What things other people feel about you that aren't really true, that you're ready to set the record straight on. You know, once you just kind of like start going through them, you're going to really find the one or two that really make you like, that's the one. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be seen as Little Miss Good Girl anymore, you know, or whatever. So, yeah, so that's that. So you have a beautiful full moon. I will see you for the solar eclipse new moon on the 9th. And this is going to be awesome for really like rebirth. If ever there was a total rebirth for you, to really be 100% authentically who you are to be, that's when we're going to start it. So 2 weeks time. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a beautiful full moon.